Welcome to the program. Let's start off with news on the Electricity Company of Ghana. It has announced an amnesty for all customers with electrical meter faults. The director of Customer Services, Abraham Anocha, said the quantum of losses incurred by the company instigated the nationwide announced audit. ECG says customers with uncaptured meters, billing anomalies, faulty meters, meter bypassing and meter tampering should visit any of its customer service centers to have them rectified.
Over the years, the biggest bane of Electricity Company of Ghana has been our losses, which militate against the viability of the company. Generally, losses are inherent in every electricity distribution business all over the world. It is the quantum of our losses which is unacceptable. Losses in electricity distribution has two components: technical losses and commercial losses. Where we have much control is with the commercial losses. Power theft, however, has been the significant contributor to our commercial losses. In order, therefore, to reduce our commercial losses once and for all, and clean the system of any electrical illegality, and improve the revenue of the company, we have, for the first time in our history, introduced a moratorium or an amnesty for customers prior to the auditing of all meters. Consequently, beginning June 7, 2022 to July 6, 2022, customers with underlisted issues should report to our district or customer service offices for rectification.
Now, losses from the technical and commercial factors stood at 1.8 billion. Let's bring you details on the condition of the Electricity Company of Ghana. Now, in 2021, from 1.4 billion and 1.5 billion, respectively, in 2020. So technical and commercial losses in the last 5 years, that reached 8.9 billion. The total losses incurred by the Electricity Company of Ghana between 2017 and 2021 amounted to 22.1 billion. It is made up of technical losses, 2.8 billion commercial losses, 6.1 billion attributed to system, and then 8.9 billion and collection losses of 4.1 billion. So the 2.7 billion in total, we have a breakdown of that losses in 2017. And in 2017 alone, the four losses combined amounted to 2.7 billion cedis. Let's have a conversation on the back of the happenings at the Electricity Company of Ghana and speak with Ben Boachi, who is with ACEP, to help us understand the conditions we are working in as a country. Ben, grateful for your time with us on the program. So the move to revamp, if you like, the installation of prepaid meters, the general amnesty that the Electricity Company of Ghana is wishing, to undertake. Let's talk about it. That will reduce losses to the company. But bearing in mind the losses that the company has already, how do we marry the two, bearing in mind the costs of these amnesty processes?
Thank you for having me. I think these are important steps, to be able to recover some of the revenues that are locked up in these losses. Cumulatively, what the numbers look like, as you indicated, are very significant. And this contributes to the waste that we have been talking about, and also the attendant impact on the fiscal situation of the country. Because ultimately, when the ECG has bills and it cannot pay, it is the state that is called upon to bail them out. So any step to really reduce those losses and transform the losses into revenue is welcome. And I'm hoping that, it's not just going to be announcements, but they will follow through with their plans to ensure that people who consume power actually pays for it. I think that the voice I heard was focusing more on the commercial losses, including theft. But from our experience and what we have seen, much of the technical losses can also be controlled. So you have equipment that are aged, that are old, and they keep tripping and giving you problems or wasting more electricity. Your response time really needs to improve to be able to ensure that people are not in darkness because you have a technical challenge.
Right.
But you can address them quickly. There are areas where just a trip of the transformer can take almost the whole day before they will come back on stream. So they need to really have a stronger and robust monitoring system that allow them to respond quickly, because your machines are weak and they have aged. Your response time has to improve, and that would also help them reduce the technical losses. Because if the power is, in the grid, and people cannot use it, then you're making a loss to that extent. So there is a way to address some elements of the technical losses by improving on how long it takes for them to bring people back to the grid when the local faults occur. But more importantly, there is no excuse for not, addressing the commercial loss. People are stealing the power in broad daylight, all right? And ECG workers are aware. Most of them, they know where these meters are. We have done a report that shows the complicity of some ECG staff.
Okay.
People to steal power. They destroy the meters. They call them abortion meters. When your meter breaks down, you can call. You don't even know who to respond to you. You go to ECG offices, people are queued up looking for meters. They don't get it. They go back and they do their own illegal connection to be able to source the power. These are things that they can address by being diligent and responding to the needs of customers.
So, Ben, this will solve a lot of problems, but when the change happens, there will be the need to sustain it. For ECG, how do they ensure we don't have a conversation like this in the next decade?
I think we should have to hold people accountable. The leadership has to be accountable. We have to track it. PRC has to do its work by ensuring that the benchmarks they give can be responded to. We gave ECG annual reduction of over 1 percentage point. 2018, when it was about 24%. Instead of reducing it, they have rather increased it from that level to almost 30% today. So it means that we are not holding people accountable for the management of the business. And for me, that is quite critical. If we want to reduce the losses, then people have to be accountable. They have to take steps to reduce the losses.